I got a letter from a teenager, a college student from University of Delaware named Meredith, 13, 14 years ago. She's in her 30s. She has a baby now. But once upon a time, she wrote me this letter in a time when we wrote handwritten letters. And she writes, "Dear Scott, I heard you speak, and I was moved by what you said, but I'm so scared." She says, "I'm the girl that all the guys come to for advice on how to get a girlfriend, what to get their girlfriends for Valentine's Day, or how to break up with a girlfriend. I'm never the girl the guys come to ask on a date. And I wish I was, but I'm scared," she says. "I'm scared of getting pregnant. I'm scared of getting an STD. And most of all," and I put it in a box, "I'm scared of getting rejected. Please write back. Love always, Meredith." But she didn't write the word scared at first, right? At first she writes, "I am SACRED," and she crossed it out. In a time when she didn't send an email or a direct message on Instagram, in a time when she couldn't delete, and then write what she wanted to write, in a time in the world when we can reveal our mistakes, she writes, "I am sacred. Oh no, I'm not that. I'm scared. Please write back. Love always, Meredith." And so I did, and I said, "Dear Meredith, you got it right the first time. The day that you could write the words, 'I am sacred,' on a piece of paper and not cross it out, is the day that we can begin the conversation that you want to have. It doesn't mean you're no longer scared, and it doesn't mean that you no longer know, that means you know about STIs. It doesn't mean it changes any of the concerns you originally had. It just means we can begin the conversation because you are no longer denying the truth of who you are, that you are whole, complete, and holy." The word in Hebrew for sacred is kadosh, which really means holy, the part inside of you that was put here to do and be exactly who you are. In other words, the part of you that belongs, the part of you that is easily loved, and the part of you that is enough. I told this story to a room full of fraternity boys in Austin, Texas, University of Texas at Austin. And one of the boys approached me, one of the young men, after my talk and said, "I'm the guy in my fraternity who tells the pledge brothers, the ones who want to be in the fraternity, that if they want to get some action," literally what he said was, "if they want to get some ass, they should go for the girls who look like they don't get any." This is his quote, not mine. He said to me, "I tell them, my little brothers, my fraternity pledges, to go for the girls who are overweight, who look like they're lonely. They'll be grateful. They'll be glad you asked." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes." He said, "That makes me an asshole." I said, "Yeah." He said, "It's not enough for me to know that I am sacred. I love the idea of being sacred. I get what you're talking about. But what I need to know," he said, this fraternity brother, "is that I must see her, or whoever my partner is, as sacred. I must see in the other their sacredness. I must look beneath the surface," I'm paraphrasing for him, "of their skin and search for what's pulsing beneath their personality, their wholeness, their enoughness, the part of them that belongs, that is searching for the same in me when I'm with them. I must not just see myself as sacred, I must see others as sacred." What we miss when we go on these social media apps, Tinder, Grindr, Growler, Scruff, OkCupid, JSwipe, whatever it is, what we miss when we go to a party when we're drinking, what we miss when we plan. I was talking to a teenager today who said to me, "I plan on getting drunk tomorrow by midnight." I will be drunk, she said, tomorrow by midnight. What we miss when we're engaging in this kind of activity is we don't get the opportunity to see beneath the surface of the other person's skin that which we search for when we have interactions in the first place, right? Which is the truth, not just the truth that we tell ourselves, the whole truth that we rarely tell ourselves, which is what? Which is that the other person on the other side of that phone, or on the other side of that drink they're holding, or on the other side of the table that we're having a conversation with, or on the other side of the bed with whom we're hooking up, is a person with a soul, is a person with a future, is a person with feelings, who sometimes is longing for their tender beloved, for someone to see the things in them that they don't show because they're afraid of getting relegated to a place where they don't belong, who can hear the things they don't say because they're afraid of getting unfriended in society, who can't love in themselves, so want somebody else to love in them what it is that they haven't been able to accept in themselves, especially when they're naked in front of somebody. Are we looking for more than just what is in the pictures on our phones? Are we doing more than objectifying a naked person's picture in our cell phones, who we now have power over, And objectification is a dangerous thing because it means we are unable to take advantage of somebody's vulnerability. Having a naked picture of somebody else in your phone means you own them in a certain way. It means that you can alter their vulnerability because you have a piece of them. And years ago, having a naked picture of yourself in somebody else's phone was a scary thing. What I've discovered today is not so scary anymore. And that scares me, that we aren't bothered by the fact that our vulnerability is in someone's hands. On the other side of that phone, on the other side of that bed, on the other side of the table with whom we're interacting is a person who breathes and who longs and who wants the same things we do. And our job is to see in them the magnificence that we don't see in ourselves sometimes, so that maybe if we can see it in them, they'll see it in us. And if they see it in us, we'll see it in them, and we will know that we belong. Sometimes I think we use sex as an opportunity to just avoid what's really in front of us. I want to just stare at you. I'll start at the back, get to the front in just a moment. I want to see you. You in the camera, you out there, you in this room. You who are enough. You who breathe beneath the pulsing personality. You who are sacred. You who are holy and in search of the holiness you think you never were born with. You who are loved and are enough. You who I came to meet tonight. You who long for a tender beloved. You who play music at night as a companion to know that you're not alone. I just want to take a moment and see you. And this is awkward. And awkwardness is necessary because it leads to intimacy. So let's get awkward. Awkwardness leads to healing and truth, and healing and truth is what we seek. So let's have a moment of awkwardness. It's one of the things that would have saved me years ago if I'd given myself permission to just be awkward in the presence of another person. Here we are. All I want is one thing. Well, two things really. I want two things for you and from you. One, I want you to use condoms. When the time comes, I just want you to use a condom. Bring it, use it, learn how to use it. If you don't, ask me, I'll teach you how to use it. Number two, and this one I mean with all my heart, I want you to know that you are magnificent. I want you to know that the people you're with are also magnificent. I want you to see it in yourself and see it in others, so that when you're with each other, you're helping each other be more than who you were before you met each other. I want you to make this campus, your community, your lives, a safe place to be exactly who you are. Permission to be who you are and who you are becoming, even if who you are becoming is not who you want to be. Permission granted to be that regardless. I want two things. I want you to use condoms. And number two, I want you to know that you are loved. So that when you are with other people, you search for the proof that you are loved in their presence, and if you don't feel it, you leave. And you surround yourself in the company of others, loving others who remind you of your magnificence, so that you know that you are safe, whole, and enough.